the power went out.
Whoa.
We had no electricity. It was black. But I had my phone, thank God I had it charged. So at least I had the light on the phone, the flashlight on the phone to help me get down there. I got down to the main floor. Obviously there was a lot of commotion going on because the elevator obviously wasn't working and there's no generator. And I could hear all these voices, so then I went into the community room. You could still, after the storm, there was still some daylight outside, so you could see people in the main room. I didn't know the extent of the damage because soon, you couldn't turn on the TV. There was no power. A lot of people didn't have their phones charged. These folks were pretty much trapped.
As 13 on your side, Chief Meteorologist George Lessons is in the Weather Center to show us exactly where the storm started and where it ended.
Well, tornado path took it generally from about 4 miles west of Comstock Park to about 2 miles northeast of Belmont. It began just east of Peach Ridge Avenue, north of 6 Mile, and then moved east-northeast, ending just west of the Rockford High School. Of course, there were hundreds of trees that were snapped, and of course, that was very heavily damaged around the intersection of 7 Mile Road and Pine Island Drive. Again, peak winds around 110 miles per hour. It traveled 8.7 miles. 100 yards wide and only lasted 15 minutes. An EF1 tornado is a high-end EF1 with that 110, and that usually means there is moderate damage. Of course, we had roofs that were stripped off, mobile homes and badly damaged if there were some, lots of windows broken, and even automobiles blown off the road. So again, just 15 minutes worth of damage up in northern Kent County.
Well, I knew there wasn't a generator because I've lived there. I'd already lived there for like 5 years, and we have had a few other incidents where we've lost power. But it was a different kind of time where people, if your building loses power, other people are more apt to come and check on you, be it the Plainfield Township Sheriff's Department or Fire Department. I'm always seeing the Fire Department at the building, and I'm always seeing ambulances and rescue people there because let's face it, it's a 55 and older building.
After the storm hit last night, the Kent County Sheriff's Office activated its Emergency Operations Center in order to get resources to those who need it the most first. 13 on your side, Liliana Murillo spoke with a spokesperson a short time ago. Lily, he talked about just how many 911 calls they've gotten.
Veronica, that's right. I just spoke to the Kent County Sheriff's Office about an hour ago. They say they received a record-breaking number of calls last night. Officials say 1,100 calls came into the dispatch center just this morning. They had about 340 wired down calls and 25 reports of potential structure fires. After evaluating the damage in the daylight today, they say some of the hardest hit areas were Bristol Avenue, Alpine Mont, Alpine Avenue in the 6 Mile area, and northeast through Belmont.
Yeah, nobody came in. I was concerned about food because if your power's not working, these people maybe they do their shopping on Fridays. And they haven't had food all week. A lot of them are waiting for that Social Security check. They can't eat, they can't move around, they can't see. That's not right. And went to the township, and it was all closed up, just like business as usual. No signs, nothing on the door, and they have a great marquee. And that had nothing on it. And my understanding is a number of years ago they were able to justify that marquee for times like this to announce what one might do if there was a disaster or a storm or something. To see that they were all closed up and people were just left on their own. Somebody has to get a plan locally that when a disaster like this happens again, a natural disaster, that we're all on the same boat. I would like to get representatives, certainly from our local area, representing the school systems, representing any of the emergency areas or systems, hospitals, that type of thing. I'm not trying to make this a great big thing. We need to do something on a local level, Plainfield Township. Maybe Kent County won't be ready. Maybe Rockford won't be ready, but Plainfield Township should have a plan. And if we have enough people that will volunteer to help out with these things, And I think they will. It's their neighborhood. It's their community. Well, government is supposed to take care of public safety. They collect taxes, you know. They have meetings, you know, usually twice a month, the Plainfield Township Board. I mean, if FEMA can come out with help on a federal level, and the state recognizes what's going on, people matter, and people's lives matter, and it interrupted a lot of people's lives and their jobs, and certainly your home. That's a great big investment. I think it's important. Government should be there for them.